We've got another massive info dump for Shredder's Revenge. We've got some details coming from the Tribute Games Discord, including a message from JF Major about expecting new footage soon. And what did we get just yesterday? IGN posting a video for the game, over 11 minutes long, covering the first two stages, which will be playing in the background. If you want any info with no spoilers, just look away while you listen. If not, just enjoy the footage if you haven't seen it already. But either way, let's jump on into it. I'll be adding chapters for all of you so you can jump around to the parts that you want because, as I had mentioned, there's more to go over than just what was reported through IGN. Now, I'm not going to waste any time here, and we're going to start with the burning question with regards to the release date. We got some bad news, and we've got some good news, and of course the bad news is, once again, we still don't have that solid release date yet, unfortunately. But the good news is, and if you were paying attention to the end of the IGN video or the opening of this one, the game will be coming out summer of 2022. This is great news as we're a lot closer to the release than everybody had originally thought, and even the devs have stated earlier recently that they're still on track for the 2022 release. I even speculated in my last video that it's actually coming up sooner rather than later. Now, part of me is actually thinking that the information from Steam database, SteamDB, that I had mentioned in the past about the game possibly coming June 30th may actually hold true, but we're just going to have to wait and see on that. Now, also with regards to the reason why there still hasn't been any release date announced, we've got a message in Discord from Yannick stating that they just don't have it yet. Reason being is that they cannot secure certification spots in advance as they are a smaller studio. Works much different for larger double and AAA developers. They have the pull, they're able to do something like that. So for everyone who keeps asking for the release date, I'm tired of news, when's it coming out? Hold your horses, it's coming soon, and it will be here in the summer. Continuing on with the release of the game, it's been stated that there is no current time frame for when pre-orders are going to be starting. However, there is now confirmation of a physical release from Dotemu via IGN's article. There's no mention of limited run games either, so I'm hoping, as it was with the Cowabunga collection recently, this is going to be a full retail release. Maybe we'll get a deluxe edition that I mentioned in the past, possibly. Who knows? We'll see what happens. While on the screenshot, let's take a look at something interesting here if you happen to not have watched the IGN demo. Let's take a look at the bottom. We've got the original voice actors of the four turtles returning for the game. Now, not only are we getting a couple of the usual one-liners like what is said when falling into a sewer via an open manhole, or the cowabunga at the end of a level, there's various lines of dialogue sprinkled throughout the level as you progress, as well as lines delivered during actual combat. Yannick stating here that all of the recordings are all brand new. Nothing's going to be recycled. It is unfortunate to note here that only the four turtles, Bebop and Rocksteady, will be the only 6 familiar voices. Everyone else will be played by new and different actors. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of reasons out there why they couldn't get everyone else, but the fact that we're at least getting the 4 heroes back is good enough for me. Moving on to Pax East coming up starting today, the team had made mention that they will be attending and doing a bunch of interviews over the course of the weekend. There will also be a playable demo at the event, so if anybody is going and happens to get their hands on the demo, feel free to share your thoughts on my various social media platforms that happen to be linked down below. I unfortunately won't be able to attend due to family obligations, but of course, hey, family first, right? The last thing I'd like to touch on here is how the game's online component is being handled. They're using Epic Online Services, which I'm told is similar to what Fortnite happens to run on. Now, being unfamiliar with Epic games besides Gears of War, 1, 2, and 3, of course, and Unreal Tournament, as well as not knowing jack about Fortnite, I asked if this is actually going to require the use of that Epic Games account, if you're going to have to log into their launcher or anything like that. Luckily, you're not going to have to, unless you want to add your friends from that service to be able to play the game. So this actually brings up an interesting question that somebody mentions: is crossplay going to be available? Now, if this was to actually happen, this would be great for everybody across the board. To be able to play with friends who are on console while I'm on the PC, or the other way around, hopping on the go on the Switch with somebody who happens to be on Xbox, all of this would be excellent. JF Major says that technically it does, but it's pretty complicated, and more is going to be revealed closer to release. So I'm actually going to be thinking that crossplay is not going to happen, as I feel like there's going to be much more that's going to be needing to go into this than what happens to be running under the hood that handles the matchmaking for the game. So if it can't happen, I'm not going to be too upset about it, considering the fact I don't think anybody thought that it was going to be a possibility. But if it does, all the better. There was another article shared recently from PC Gamer which had a few other smaller pieces of information, but it wasn't really prevalent to add to this video here, except for the addition of another boss. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know anything, stop right here. They, yes, I did say they, there are two of them, Dirtbag and Groundchuck have been confirmed. Tribute Games is pulling out all the stops it seems, and they're not done yet. And with that said, it's time to bring this video to a close. Expect other outlets to share videos of their experiences at PAX East this weekend, and if anything new comes to light, I'll be sure to share it. I don't know what all of you are going to be doing now, but I'm going to be watching these gameplay videos another couple hundred times. I got some breakdown videos to make for you.